It's an honor to introduce our research. I'm Da-won Jung, the first author. The title of our study is Imaging Surveillance After Breast Conserving Surgery for Cancer with Acellular Dermal Matrix Reconstruction. Our study aims to investigate post-operative imaging findings in patients who underwent BCS with megaderm reconstruction. We analyzed suspicious findings with false positives and recurrence, focusing on findings in direct contact with megaderm. A total of 201 women were enrolled, and sheet type of megaderm was used first, later transitioning to pellet type. The number of images by megaderm type is shown in the flowchart. First, on mammography, megaderm appears as a circumscribed mass with homogeneously iso or high density. Post-operative calcifications often increase in the surgical bed. We found that calcifications were more common with sheet type than pellet type. Sheet type had more macro calcification, while pellet type had more micro calcification. Notably, macro calcifications in sheet type often demonstrated dystrophic calcifications along the sheets as shown in the figure. On ultrasound, sheet type megaderm appears as a heterogeneous echoing mass, often with multiple isoechoic folded lines and a hypoechoing limb. Pellet type was characterized by multiple cuboid elements and sometimes demonstrated irregular margins. Both types always show posterior acoustic shadowing. On MRI, megaderm showed low signal intensity on T2-weighted imaging without definite enhancement. We analyzed suspicious findings in direct contact with megaderm as the following. On mammography, suspicious findings included new suspicious calcifications within or around the megaderm, asymmetries attached to megaderm, or peripheral irregularities of megaderm. On ultrasound, they appeared mainly as new masses, but also peripheral irregularities. On MRI, they appeared as new enhancing masses or irregularities with abnormal enhancement around the megaderm. We identified 17 false positive cases with suspicious imaging findings, including 15 sheet type and 2 pellet type megaderm cases. This table summarizes them. 9 cases had suspicious findings in direct contact with megaderm, marked by asterisks and pink letters. 8 patients underwent biopsies to rule out recurrence, while the other 9 did not, as their suspicious findings were observed in only 1 or 2 imaging modalities and did not change or resolve on follow-up. 9 patients had recurrence in the operative bed, and this table summarizes their suspicious imaging findings. Of these, 6 had suspicious findings in direct contact with megaderm in all 3 imaging modalities. These findings closely paralleled those seen in false positives, except for 1 case of megaderm irregularity with microcalcifications. The pathologic types and details of recurrence are as follows, and the table shows the diagnostic performance for detecting operative bed recurrent breast cancer. The false positive rate was high for sheet type megaderm and on MRI. Let's first look at false positive cases. The mammogram on the left shows grouped amorphous microcalcifications near the megaderm, classified as biology category 4A. Both ultrasound and MRI showed no suspicious findings. On the right, the 1-year follow-up mammogram shows an increase in the number and size of microcalcifications along the megaderm margin with a punctuate appearance. These were considered benign post-surgical calcification. In the second case, ultrasound shows megaderm irregularities, and the MRI revealed irregularity enhancement in the same location. After mastectomy, microscopy showed inflammation with necrosis near the megaderm implant. In the third case, the initial MRI showed irregularities with nodular enhancement along the megaderm. The second MRI is 1-year follow-up MRI showing improvement of previous megaderm irregularities and enhancement. Now let's look at some recurrence cases. In the first case, a hypoechoic mass in direct contact with megaderm was seen on ultrasound image. On this image, palatine megadom exhibited normally irregular margins and posterior shadowing. MRI shows the same mass with limb enhancement attached to the megadom. This mass was confirmed as a recurrent cancer through US-guided biopsy. In the second case, mammogram showed megadom irregularities with grouped amorphous calcifications. Ultrasound also revealed megadom irregularities with suspected calcifications, and the MRI showed peripheral irregularities with enhancement of megadom. This study analyzed how post-operative surveillance images after megadom insertion affected image interpretation. On mammogram, calcifications were more common and larger in short-time megadom compared to palatine. On ultrasound, suspicious findings usually appeared as masses, but new megadom irregularities were also detected. These irregularities may indicate the irregular borders of palatine megadom, possibly due to the margin of smooth-diced cubes, and also indicate inflammations for cancer. Furthermore, posterior acoustic shadowing can hinder clear visualization beyond the megadom. On MRI, megadom itself does not show enhancements, so suspicious enhancements surrounding megadom with peripheral irregularity can be detected. Though limited by the small sample size, recurrences mostly appeared as masses, while false positives were typically non-mass enhancements with no changes on follow-up. Our study suggests that suspicious imaging findings in direct contact with megadom could indicate either false positives or recurrence. Therefore, it is necessary to recognize them and check the patient history of megadom insertion. There are a few things to note. All recurrences were suspicious on all three imaging modalities, while only one false positive was suspicious on all three modalities. Nearly half of the false positives had no change or resolution of suspicious findings in follow-up. Short-time megadom had more false positives than palatine, with many cases showing inflammation. It might be because palatine is flexible, causing fewer inflammatory changes than short-time megadom. In conclusion, this study analyzed how two types of megadom are observed in post-operative surveillance images and how suspicious findings in direct contact with megadom appear. Suspicious findings may be associated with false positives or recurrence, so it is crucial to recognize these findings and review the patient history of megadom insertion. Thank you for your attention.